We speak on loneliness, yes? We have been asked to speak on loneliness by your higher selves. For this is an experience that often occurs. Does it not? It is a pain similar to death, when loneliness seeps into the bones. Do you understand this? Are you ever truly alone? No. So why do you feel lonely? Because you forget, yes? Each person is sensitive, yes? Each person is sensitive in a world where there are more and more and more and more and more and more people. And we become so sensitive that each person we see, we can feel their sadness, we can feel their soul, we can feel their pain. Do you understand of what we are speaking? So what occurs when we are this sensitive and we feel the sadness, the grief, the pain, the loneliness, the anger, the disintegrity, when we feel all of these things from all of these people, it becomes a sensory overload when we are in a crowded room. Do you understand of what we are speaking? Yes. So what occurs is we simply choose from a young age to shut off. Do you see this? Yes. We shut off, for it is too much for our nervous system. Do you see of what we speak? Yes. So what occurs then when we have shut off? It becomes difficult to decide who we shall open up to and with. Do you understand this? Yes. And it has become common that with strangers we stay shut off. Though we may be polite, we stay shut off until we have created an opportunity or the time to trust. Do you understand of what we speak? Yes. Yes. And then what has been occurring with the modern technology and with civilization in general? And we say civilization like this, for it is not very civilized, is it? What has occurred is dehumanization of the human experience. Do you see? Yes. So we have become civil. Do you see? Yes. We have become civil, which is a little less than polite. So you see, we are shut off, and then to some we are polite, but to most we are civil. Do you see of what we speak? Yes. So this causes these walls to be generally in place until such time as we are in a social situation, and then you are not working, but you are finding it difficult to be a little bit more than civil. Do you see? So you are finding it difficult to be a little bit more civil, so then you become polite. And then there are people that you do not like, but your friend likes them, so you will be polite to them, and you are playing a game because you do not really like them, but you are not being honest. Do you understand of what we speak? And you do not like the way they treat your friend, but you cannot be honest because that would be not polite, so you are still civil. Yes? Yes. So what is occurring is a blanket cutting off from most. or civil or polite. And only with a few do we feel safe enough to engage in a deeper level. Do you understand this? Yes. When you have been spending a lot of time being civil and you find it very difficult to be open, do you understand of what we speak? And when we find it very difficult to be open, then we decide we must use a switch to open us up. And what occurs, what is the first switch that people use in social situations to lubricate the situation? What this alcohol does is mechanically open up the trust switch. Do you see? Yes. And this trust switch overrides the intuition which says this person is not a good person. It overrides the switch that says this person is maybe not the person for me to spend time with, but I am lonely because I have been blocked off from everyone, so they will do. Do you understand of what we speak? Yes. So it is rare when we meet someone who is genuinely open to strangers. Do you understand of what we speak? Unless it is someone who is used to dealing with strangers, such as somebody who must deal in hospitality. Do you understand this? So they must be nice to everybody. Do you understand this? Yes. So what do you do? For you must risk, yes? You must risk. And you must risk being yourself with this person, with this person, with this person, with all of these people, yes? And you must risk being yourself. For so long you have had the walls up, you are not actually sure who you are. When it comes to other people, do you see? Yes. And this feels lonely, yes? For we do not even know ourselves, and so you cannot even be your own best friend. Yes? When you do not know what makes this body hum, love, laugh, connection, yes? Connection, connection, connection. So then, you are sitting in your little life raft, yes? Floating through life. And you have the walls up, yes? Protecting yourself from all the sadness and the grief and the fear and the anger of everybody else. But the river starts to dry up, does it not? The flow starts to dry up, does it not? And pretty soon you are sitting in your life raft in the bottom of a dirty creek bed, yes? And there is dirt but no water. Yes? Then this is when you start to drink alone, just to wake up your own ability to communicate with yourself, for crying out loud. Do you understand? Yes? You understand this. This is not the human experience. Do you see? So how do we wake up from this?
Look, risk.
Ask. First, you may begin by opening your eyes and seeing the ones around you, and not seeing the ones around you as their pain or their personality, or seeing the ones around you who are in your daily life, who give you a story, but they are not their story. Do you understand this? Yes. You must open your eyes and look and see these ones, each one, no matter how grumpy, no matter how pretty, no matter how thin, no matter how chubby, no matter how beautiful, no matter how pimply, no matter how they appear on the outside. Look. See the soul, yes? The soul, yes? The soul. For when you see the soul, there is only love, yes? There is only joy, yes? And then you do not have to have your walls up. For if you see sadness in the soul of another, and it makes you sad, then you may feel it. Yes? Feel it. For when we feel, what happens to the creek, to the river? This is feeling, yes? And as we begin to feel again, the first feelings may be sadness. Yes? You may come and sit here, yes? And you may come and sit here, yes? So when we sit and we begin to feel, and I feel this one, and then I feel this one, and we are feeling each other's sadnesses, yes, and each other's pain, yes. Our rivers are flowing together, yes. And we feel this sadness and we feel this pain. And all of a sudden we are not flowing in the river alone together, yes. And you may come into my life raft, or I may come into your life raft, or we can simply flow in our own life rafts together. Do you understand of what we speak, yes? And all of a sudden it is not so lonely, yes? Yes. And I do not have to know you deeply, to know you deeply. Do you understand this? And I do not have to know you deeply to know you deeply. Do you understand of what we are speaking? Yes. And we are rowing our boats together, yes? And our walls are down, yes? Yes. And it is more fun, yes? Are you having more fun yet? Yes. And it is not as lonely, yes? And I feel your sadness, and I am sad, and I am happy that you feel safe to feel your sadness with me. Yes. Do you see this? Yes? And I feel your sadness, and I feel your crankiness, and I know that you have been a bitch more than once in your life, yes? But I am not afraid of your bitchiness, yes? For I have not also been a bitch, yes? Do you understand? And this one has been a bitch, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Do you understand of what we speak? So we are not afraid of each other's crankiness, yes? For we have all been cranky, yes? You understand of what we are speaking. Yes. How does your lifeboat feel now?
A bit more fun.
Yes? How does your lifeboat feel now?
Yeah, much better.
Yes?
Yeah.
And we are flowing, and we are flowing. And so we have touched each other's hearts, yes? Mm-hmm. And so it does not matter if these lifeboats flow away from one another and back together, and flow away from one another and back together, and flow away from one another and back together, yes? For it is a very big river. It is the river of life. Do you understand this? Yes. We cannot see this one in her life raft. You may stand if you wish to see. Yes? Or you may sit. Yes? And this one in her life raft is moving that you may see. Do you understand this? Yes? Do we feel lonely?
Not today.
Do you feel lonely?
Right now, no.
Do you see this? So we are risking, yes? We are looking. And we are seeing the soul in another. We are not seeing the bitch or the sadness or the bitch or the sadness. We are simply seeing the souls. Do you see? And when we see the soul, we are no longer afraid to feel. It is only the fear of feeling that keeps us lonely. Do you understand of what we speak?
Yes.
So if you find yourself sitting in your life raft in the bottom of the river and it has stopped flowing and you are sitting in the dirt in your life raft, you must simply feel. You must put the glass down and cry or have a tantrum or sing or dance or laugh until your body feels without a substance to make it feel. Do you understand of what we speak?
Yes.
For if we do not feel, it begins to seize the body up and the body becomes seized up just as the dry, parched riverbed. Do you understand of what we speak?
Yes.
It becomes painful to move, does it not? And when we feel, the river flows, the body flows, and the energy flows, and then more is flowing, and it is a flowful universe then. Do you understand this?
Yes.
So we look, you may say this, look, see the soul in others and in ourselves. Yes? And risk. Risk reaching into another's soul.
Yes.
This one is saying, it is easy here because I am with you. Yes? She is saying, there is no fucking way I can do this outside this room. Are we right? How did we see this?
You reached into the
We were feeling your soul. Yes?
Yeah.
We are not saying you have to hold the people you do not like's hand. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
We are simply saying that you have to risk to know your own feelings first. And then risk communicating with people in a new way.
Okay.
Risk touching another in a way that says, I see you.
Yeah.
Do you understand this?
I do.
Risk communicating with other people at work who you wish to slap in a way that says honestly, I do not feel respected by you when you communicate with me like this. Can we try this communication again? Do you understand this? How does this feel?
Yeah, good.
Is it a risk?
Yes, it is.
Is it a risk?
Yes.
Is it a risk that someone will look back at you and go, "Ah"?
Yes.
Is it worth the risk?
Yes.
For whilst you may risk, the other may not be ready to risk. but you will have opened the other, and they may open tomorrow, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. The more who risk, the more who will feel safe to risk. Do you understand of what we speak?
Yes.
This does not mean you have to run around and get a reputation as a Fruit Loop. Do you understand of what we speak?
Yes.
This simply means you start by looking and seeing the soul. And when your heart, when you feel that you are giving and being given an opportunity to risk, it means that you step up and you risk. Do you understand this? Do we feel the courage of this one? May we have a tissue for this one? Can you flow a tissue to the life raft? Yes? And this one, do we feel the softness of this one? This one has stopped pretending to be happy and actually feels happy, yes? And it is a beautiful thing, yes? To be in the glow of this one. We are grateful. So do you see? So we have looked, yes? We have risked, yes? And then we must ask, yes? Ask for what you want, yes? You do not necessarily have to ask for the big house or the car straight away, yes? This takes a little longer to deliver until you get into practice, then it can come like that, yes? However, you must ask. So if there is a situation at work that is difficult, you look, you risk, and you ask for the divine assistance, yes? You do not ask that this person that you do not like get pushed off the train in the morning so that they do not make it to work. You ask that this person softens. You ask that this person who is clearly in pain finds love. You ask that this person who throws their weight around in life and who is very unconscious, you ask, God, please let them find consciousness. Please let them find and heal whatever it is that makes them so bossy and imposing. Do you understand this? Or if you see someone who is sitting in deep sadness, you ask that their heart be illuminated so that they may feel safe to feel their sadness and heal their grief. You do not have to say this out loud. You do not have to rush up and say to them, oh, by the way, I've just asked for this for you. Do you see this? You can be sitting at your desk, you can be sitting behind the wheel of your car, and you can simply ask. Do you understand of what we speak? We are grateful you have come. You may sit. We are grateful you have come. You may sit. You may roll back to your chairs, yes?
Thank you.